Hi, this is Lisa from the Jolly Pad. I've literally just sort of like finished doing one of my videos, if you remember, with the hydrangeas. Now, if you haven't seen it, just scroll back and have a look at the history. Now, this was one that didn't turn out very successfully, but I will definitely be doing something with that. Now, the one I want to show you is the one that I've just I've made sure it was dry first. Now if you go back to the video, you'll see how I did this. Now I just wanted sort of like an abstract really. I thought I'd get more of a hydrangea pattern, but then I took some of these off and printed them separately, so it gives more of an abstract idea of the petals within the hydrangea. Now I tried to do it with a black fine liner and it really didn't show up, so I took inspiration from this one up here where the white actually showed up beautifully on it. So as you can see, I've gone over them in white. Now I could have gone over this one in white, but I really wanted to do odd numbers, and if I did this one then I'd have to make sort of like one here. And I thought, no, I'm just going to do it so that's an impression of it there. Okay, and that's another one. The leaves were a little bit more successful, so I did those. And I don't know if you can see, there we go. I did some Signo Uniborn Gold on it, but I did edge it with a black fine liner, and I sort of like followed the hint of the leaves for the hydrangea. So that's what it turned out like. I'm quite pleased with that actually, seeing as before I thought wasn't quite sure. So yeah, I am pleased with it. This one not so much, but then I will do something with it. Might cut it up into smaller pieces, I don't know. Anyway, the reason why I popped back as well, not just to show you that, was because I did make this as well. So this one was sort of like an experiment, if you like. So I did this. Okay, so this was where I put the leaves, can you see, on the gel plate, and then this was my takeoff sheet, and then that was my print. So I will be doing something with that. But I'm definitely going to do something with this. And I wanted to actually do it now so that you could see. So what I'm going to do is see if I can zoom in a bit. There we go. So you can see. So I started it and I thought, hold on a minute, why am I doing it here when I made it with you guys? So can you see I've just used the Uniball green to just go round it, and I don't know if you can see, just probably slightly where I pressed on it, especially with this one here, you can see that the veins have imprinted, and I thought, shall I use those? I think you can probably see it better on the other side coming through. I thought, shall I use those and just draw all the lines in? But I think I'm going to sort of like do some printing on it first. So I have got a stamp. So I've got lots of stamps. This is my folder for my All and Create stamps, and I particularly like Tracy Evans, and I'm looking for one in particular that I can use. Now these, which is this one. Now these are all in alphabetical order, and it means that I can find it. Oh, quite like that as well. So that is Garden Mix Tag, and this one is Background Elements. So I go to B and I go to G. So I've got a system over here which I have shown you in another video. So B for Background Elements. Here we go. Found that one. It's got several in. And Garden Mixed Tags. So I need to go to E, F, G, and Garden is G, A. Garden Notes, wasn't it? Not Garden Mixed Tags. Garden Mix tags, and that's here. So basically I've got my things all labelled up. So that's that one, and I'm really making this just off the hoof. I've got other ones in there. That's a favourite one of mine as well, to do some of the background elements. But this is one of my new ones, and I quite fancied using this one. So what I'm going to do, I've got some bundled sage here. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put this on a block. There we go. I'm just going to do it like that. Just make sure that I'm in shot. So that I'm going to put in my box over there because it's see-through and I will not be able to find it again. Okay, so let's give it a go. I'm just going to I'm going to ink it all up. I wanted to keep green on green. I like the bundled sage, and I'm not keeping it on a block because the leaves are organic and I wanted this to be organic too. So I'm going to turn it over. Oop. So it's still on its little sheet, so I can hold it at the edge of the sheet. But I'm just going to pop a bit in here like that. And a bit up there. And what I want to do, quite like that there, is I'm looking to fill the leaves. That one's quite nice, but I will put some on an angle depending on how the leaf is moving as well. There. And which part? I just want that part again, I think. For that leaf there. There we go. So there we are. So I've got some dates in there. I can use these in journaling. I like the fact that I've got the dates here, and I've also got the paper clip here, which also mirrors this one up here with a little bit of number. And I like the fact that I've got the days of the week here, and I like this white space as well. So I will use that. I think I might fill up. Let's have a look. Second and third generation. I just really love this stamp. Now I need to make sure, excuse the noise that I get out. There we go. Damp cloth there. And I use my very inky cloth here. Now this inky cloth is part of a t-shirt which I just cut up, because t-shirt material doesn't transfer, so it means it won't leave any lint or anything on my stamps. So any old t-shirts that you've got, they really make very good cloths. So this one is Botanical, The Great Outdoors. What else have I got? Specimen, Sending Special Wishes Your Way, and these. So I really like those. And I've always got, I say I've always got, there we go. I've always got some, whoop, didn't realise that had turned over. Here we are. Okay. Always got some card available. This is cream because it's a watercolour card. So do I want white or do I want cream? Quite like the cream. So what I'm going to do is get a small block, and I think I will choose one without a flower on it. Just want to keep it with the leaves. So I've chosen this one here. Let's turn it around the right way. That one there. Okay, and I'm going to put it onto this card. I don't want to go with anything harsh, so I'm going to, because this is off the hoof, I've still got my Versifying Claire put away, so let's get that out. So I'm going to use Morning Mist and pop that on there. Okay. And get out some copy paper, move that to the side. This is all used copy paper. Just scraps and pop it on there. Okay, so that's that one. I don't know, I might do one with a flower on it. What do you think? Let's do one with this flower on it. Cyclamen. So the one I've chosen is this one here. I think you can probably see it better in the white. And I'm going to do that in Morning Mist as well. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to do that in Morning Mist as well. This is a permanent ink, so I can watercolour and it won't move. It will just stay the way it is. And I'll put that straight back on there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out my paints. So I've got everything to hand. My watercolour paints. Let's have a quick look. So there's my watercolour paints. They are, what's the make of these? I can't remember. Kuretake. And I just want to like this one here. Okay. And a water brush. So I've just got a water brush here, and I will zoom in again just to show you. Okay, let's put that to that side. And I think, so I'm having a look here, I think I like this one here, which is Rose Madder. So that's my third one in. I've got my water spray, and I'm just going to spray it to activate it just once. There we go. Try it on there. It's a gorgeous colour. Okay, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to colour those in at the bottom like that. This is actually watercolour card. It's a cream card. Clean that off till it runs clear, and then just sort of like pull it up into this end of the petals. Okay, there we go. Fab. And I think I might add a tiny bit of green. So I'm going for olive green. Okay, drop a little bit there. Move it out a bit. Now it will dry a lot lighter. There we go. Bit of green in there. Let's take some off that. Okay. So let's get some kitchen roll. It's very small, but I still know that I've gone over that bit there, so I want to lift that off. There we go. A little bit more Rose Madder just for the bottom, like that. A tiny bit for the buds there. Just real attention to detail. Okay, wash that off or wipe that off. I think that I need that a little bit darker, like so. Okay, and what I'm going to do, see if I can just do some, no, that's not working. Let's put that, so let's make a little bit like that, mix it in, there we go. Okay, just some splats there to add a little bit of colour. Okay, let's have a look. There we we go. To clean the brush off. Takes a little bit of doing, but that's what this copy paper's for. Like I said, this is really off the cuff. Put that back up on the shelf. There we go. One of my clean off sheets. There we go. Drip some of that on over there. Okay. Right. Fold that away. Recycling box. Right. And that will go back on there. And pop those away. Everything to hand. So I'm going to pause the video while these dry and cut them out, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so now I'm back. You've just seen me create these, and I've just cut them out after they've been dried, and I'm going to punch some holes in there now. So I've got let me see, just one of these hole punches, and I'm just going to line it up. It's going to be a little bit bigger than the actual hole, but that's okay. Line that one up. Okay, don't mind them being bigger, as you can see there. Right, so while I was also off camera, I got my little box. I've got a box full of little goodies that I just, if I don't really want to do much, I just stamp things out and paint them, and ready for when I want to use them. And this is a cyclamen. Now Tracy Evans from she is Tracy Evans Design, so she is now on her own. She used to be with All and Create, and this is the cyclamen here and this here. So what I wanted to do is actually decided to make a card for this, and I've got some pre-cut card that fit on a 5x7, so I've just got that there. So what I want to do first of all is to paint this, but what I've decided to do is do something a little bit different, is to do it with my watercolour pencils, mainly because I just like using different things. So these are my watercolour pencils, Derwent watercolour. I've got different ones as well, but I quite like these ones. Like say, just collect lots of different things. So let me have a quick look. I get my watercolour pen again and some paper. Let's put that on that side. Okay, and we'll zoom in and I'll show you what we're doing. I don't know why my camera does that, just sort of like goes really dark and then light and things like that, but there we go. So I'm going to use a darker red, just at the base. There we go. Now because I've cut it out already, you have to really be careful. Okay, so I want to keep with the tones that I've been doing, and let's turn it that way so I can hold it by its more sturdy part. Okay, and I have a more orangey red, which I'm going to put right at the tip. So what I do is I make sure that I use all of my stamping of things like this is either on a multivarious card, a watercolour card, or Pink Frog. Pink Frog do a really nice smooth card. It holds water, not as much as watercolour card, but it will let things move and blend. So we'll use our watercolour pencil, brush to just activate that. Move it around so it's towards each other, but I just leave a little bit of white in the middle, just so I don't have to put the highlights in later on. And as each layer dries, oh, missed that bit, there we go. Each layer dries, you can add more and more over the top, so it becomes layered. There we go, move that. This watercolour pen isn't too bad. Some of them I've got that lets out too much water, some of them hardly any water at all. So let's clean that off, and I'll move on to the green. Quite like that green. So I'm going to put the darker green in the middle, and where the shading is, I'm doing it really roughly, holding on to it. I hope my hands aren't getting in the way. I tend to sort of cut them out before colouring them, mainly because at the time I just don't know what I want to do with them. But if you do it the other way round, just make sure that you don't try to cut them out before they're dry, because the card goes quite flimsy, especially if you're needing to cut something out in the middle, and you need your scissors to pierce it because it just bends all over. I'm not being very careful, like I say, this is really off the cuff, but I wanted you to see what I've done with some of my prints, because I see a lot of people doing prints and saying, oh, I can use that later for this and I can use that later for that, and then you never see what they use it for. And I know myself that sometimes then life gets in the way and you don't always do videos, and you think, no, and then you forget what you've told your viewers. So just blending that in. I don't want too much of a uniformed approach, but blending it nicely. There we go. Now sometimes I clean my brush off, especially if I've gone into the dark colour first, because really going into the light colour first is better, so it doesn't become muddied with the other colour. There we go. And I definitely clean it off in between, because I just don't want to build up too much of the darkness, because each leaf should be slightly different. There we go. Quite lucky that my dog Tallulah is allowing me to craft today without sitting in my jumper. I've got a jumper with a pocket, and she sometimes sits in that. She's a Chihuahua and she's quite a needy little bod, and that's what I find. So now let's go back, get a little bit more darkness in there. Okay, now I'm not too worried about going too far up again, and I have, this is dry, it dries quite quickly because I haven't used too much water. As you can see, I've done this video straight away, so I've got purple all over my hands from when I was doing my gel printing. Okay, oh, that goes back, and then my orangey one, this time I'm just going to put it right at the very tip. There we go. So the where I get these stamps from is from Tracy Evans. So I shall put a link to her site at the bottom so you can see. Right, let's do this one. As it sort of blends up, and I'm trying to keep the white space. I mean, I've got a white gel pen if I want some added highlights, which I might well do, or may well do. There we go. There. And you can also go straight in like that, which is another favourite technique, and deepen up the colour like that. And it's quite a soft way of doing things. Put some up there. Okay, and if you've got too much, dot it off. Can you see how light that has become now? I've taken it off. You need to do it when it's still wet. Okay. I actually really like applying it like this, because it just gives that extra depth to it. Okay, let's just blend that out a bit. Okay, and I can do the same with the orangey red. Put it up the top. So it's a tiny bit deeper. Like so. Just there. Okay. And I shall do that as well, so you can see both methods of application. Okay. So as you can see, it's quite a lot softer than when you just apply directly by scribbling onto the paper or the card. You get more saturated colour, like so. I notice I'm cleaning it off each time, and the brighter green, just come in there, just blend it out. Sorry to see if you can see that. That's really quite vivid, which is lovely. So I do much prefer doing it this way. Almost becomes like your own little palette like that. There we go. Okay, there's a bit too much. Just blend round like so. And this one here. And can you see how vividly it goes on? It won't ruin your pencils at all, because all you need to do is, when they're dry, it will go back to exactly what it was before. Very carefully. Do the stems. There we go. Just barely touching the card for that. There. clean the brush off. There we go. So as you can see, there we go. It just makes it look really blended and quite vivid. Just noticed in the camera that that doesn't look very blended. And can you see the white when it's left? Looks like some highlights, and you can come in with some highlights as well. So I shall put it to one side to dry. Right, now let's have a look. So the elements we've got at the moment, these, and the card, and this. So it's quite organic. So what I want to do is, I don't want this to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Straight. So I am going to cut it just randomly with some scissors, just so it makes it into a more manageable piece. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rip. So I'm going to put my paper down there. I'm going to rip, tear away from me. I'm doing it slowly, and I'm putting my finger there so it just doesn't shoot up. And do the same here. I'm always like, oh, is it going to work? I'm pushing this finger down quite hard, quite firmly, and just doing a little bit at a time. Okay. Here we go. Oh, I'm not too fussy, but obviously I don't want to ruin my design. Pull it away, keep moving your finger down, a tiny bit at a time. There's the scraps, and that's what I'm left with. So this is sort of what I'm thinking. Thinking of this, and I'm thinking of, let's have a look, something like that, and maybe with a, let me see, a little design with a tag coming out. I might just slot it up there, so what I might do is get my scissors and cut around there, not to the end though. So then when I put it on, okay, it can go something like that. Something like that actually. And this one, not sure I'm going to use, to be fair. I might have a look. So to get that to sort of like stand out a little bit more, I'm going to get another ink pad. And this one is, no, it's not that one I want. Let's have a card. Oh, well, can use it. This one's Element Ink, and it is dark denim. So just going to sort of like drag it down. Let's put it in that bit there. It's a very juicy ink pad, and like I say, it's quite dark. Just basically just nudging it, if you like. And this is when you'll see all the little bits of paper ripped at the edge. It just doesn't disappear into the background. I'm not going to put it straight on my card because it's wet. I don't want big smudges over the card that I've cut for it. There we go. Now be a little bit careful because the edges of this is, oh, see, like that, are quite absorbent, but I'm not even going to worry about that. So let's pop that there. If you were worried about that, you could just tear it again, but like I say, I'm not too fussed. So what I'm going to do now, while that bit is drying, is I'm going to do some faux edging to it. There's my card, and I'm going to use a Sharpie, a black one. Now you could do it in all colours, so if you had some gold elements, you could do it in gold, you could do it in green. Now slightly tip it towards the card so it gets a nice line on it. Oop, and then it does that. So I turn it over. This is why I do it before I stick anything on. It's because I'm talking at the same time, so just need to concentrate. There. Okay, so you can see there's a black line all the way around. Okay, fab. Now I store my Sharpie upside down so the ink flow is goes into the pen. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, let's see if I need anything under there. I don't think I need anything under there to make it pop. And I had that sort of like stuck out like that, didn't I? I wonder if it needs anything else. I might keep it like that. Shall I put some elements around actually on the card itself? Yeah, I might do that. So let's get the garden notes again, or background elements is. So the way I catalogue them means I can find them really, really quickly. There we go. And I will come back with the bundled sage, distress oxide. Okay. There we go. Right, as you can see, the underside of that wasn't dry. So I've got little bits, I don't know if you can see there, that I've managed to get stuff on, but I'm going to just do a bit of background stamping. Now I'm not worried about what's going to be covered and what isn't. Let's have a quick look. Okay. There we go. I'm going to wipe that off with a cloth, like so. Okay. I don't know if you can hear that. My husband's talking to Alexa next door, and yeah, I'm not sure if he knows I'm in here doing this. Should have told him really. Okay, so let's just put that to one side. I didn't put the acetate in the box, so now I have no idea where it is, but I will have a look. So that's what happens when I get carried away. I don't put the acetate back in the box, and I don't know where I put it. But there we go. So you can see that all the, and that covered that up, the black bit, like that. So that will go on like that, and that's stayed. Shift that up a bit, and I think that's will be fine will be absolutely fine like that. So have I got a 6x5 card blank out? No, let's get one quickly. Envelope and card blank. Okay, so there we go. There we are, everything to hand, absolutely everything. Before I do anything else, I'm going to stamp on the back. So this is my stamp for my business. And I've got an arrow actually on the stamp. Now I've got this made. Let's do it that way round so that it covers that. So I got this made for my business, my Jolly Pad boutique, which I started in lockdown. So there, I'm at silkpurseguild.com/Jolly Pad boutique. So Silk Purse Guild is a selling site for small businesses, handcrafted, that's based in the UK. So let's have a look here. That will go on like that, and it will go on like that. So I don't know if I want something there. Well, that's just going to be far too random. I'm wondering. I think I might just put a sentiment there when I decide what I'm going to use it for. So let's have a go. Okay, let's move that to one side. And some glue. Now this is paper. This was just copy paper. And this is wet glue, so I'm just going to be very mindful of how much I'm putting it on so it does not crinkle. So I'm just going to pop it around the edge like so, really quite a thin line. Okay, and then just going to make sure I line it up sort of in the middle. Right, and I had some of this Bristol Smooth. I used it, ripped the cover off, and I thought instead of throwing it away, because it's quite a handy card, I was using it to do my faux matte and layering here and in gold. And on that side, and then I decided I'm just going to use it to maybe just smooth things down. Right, so I tend to make layered cards as well, so definitely a mixed media layer card, having things sticking out and things behind things like sisal nest or something like that, but I just want this one to be quite flat. Okay, now I did punch a hole in it so that I could, sorry it went a bit funny then, I did punch a hole in it so I could hang something, but didn't use it in the end. But this one I've still got, so I will put some thread through there and use it on another card. There we go, and make sure that's the right way around. Okay. Okay, all the way around, and there in the middle. And pop it on the front. A little bit of wiggle time, there we go. Don't press it down, just have that on it like that. And because I've got the dark denim on there, as you can see, I've got quite a dark bit, and I haven't got any dark or any black anywhere else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a black Posca pen. What one's that one? Yeah, that's black. Let's give it a shake. Okay. Some people don't like the splats. I quite like the splats. And it also brings the dark. You can also, if you want to direct it a bit and get some smaller splats, just bash it with a stencil brush. Okay. Now, if you don't like the splats, don't use them. I quite like the splats. There's some smaller ones, as you can see there. And some bigger ones which will take longer to dry. And there you go. Okay, a card made out of that little stamped background that we did. I'm quite pleased with that. Then you can add other elements to it as well, and the sentiment. So I've got some sentiments here which I keep in this box. So I can put a happy birthday. I can put something like, I don't know, make a wish. Quite like this one. Be creative. Actually, I like it so much I'm going to use it. So I am going to put it on there. Now I embossed this one. As you can see, it's quite shiny. It's because it's been embossed. And I don't print all of my greetings. I quite like to emboss them as well. Right, let's just move that down. Let's have a look. So the eye will travel up there, and I think I want it off this background, just like this is off the background. Like that. Okay. So what you can also do to create, so the black is here as well, is, let's get my pastel pencils. Okay, so my pastel pencils I have, oops, sorry, there we go. So Koh-i-Noor pencils. Now these are quite new. I have been saving for them. Like that. I'm going to use the black. I'm going to be quite delicate about this, she says, trying to get it out of the box. Okay, and I'm just going to go around like that, just to sort of like create that black edging still. Okay, and then I have some cotton buds. I'm just, oh, that cotton bud's a bit loose. Just going to go round, just so it looks, well, it sort of like seals the pastel, and it makes it look like that's 3D as well. Okay, and there we go. Not for everybody, but should I do it around there as well? Yes, I'll do it around there as well. So not there we go just yet. Let's put some around here. So let's lift that bit up. There we go. That wasn't all glued, was it? That one was. Okay. Let's just lift that up. It seals the pastel as well. Push it down. There we go. There. Okay, let's see if I can get right in the edge. Oh, I didn't think I glued that edge down. There we go, under there. so you can't see the white, and smudge it all out. Best to have a plan, really, isn't it? There we go. Okay, so here we are, and we've got the black, and we've got the red here and here, and the green, the leaves. Not bad for an impromptu card. Right, well, you have a lovely afternoon or evening or morning, depending when you're watching this. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.